But I haven't finished with this thing yet, a long way from it. I am going to carve 4 horses, that the horses are going to look real. And they're going to be modelled to that. And when I've done that, then I'm going to start on the people in there. And I'll tell you what, lots and lots of years I think I've got to go before I finish. So thanks very much for watching, and of course when I've finished all this I will put another video up to show you the horses as I progress on that. There's something different I've got to do. Remember me talking about, well, when I was making the stagecoach, that I was going to build some horses. Well, the time has come for me to start doing that. I've got 2 horses. Apparently the stagecoach that I built used to run around town with 2 horses, so mine's around the town stagecoach. I'll make 2 horses, but really the truth is I only got room for 2 horses anyway in the glass cabinet I've got in there, which is an old aquarium. So I'll just give you a quick demo of what I'm going to do. I've got this piece of cherry wood from America, I think. Of course, anything costs a huge amount of money. But as I said, I'm going to build the Bounty after this, and this wood is very good framing too. So there's a fair bit of framing that I'll get out of that. Sorry, not framing, deck planks and all this. Framing is too expensive. I have to find a different way of doing it. You never know, I might be able to use this stuff. But there's cheaper wood and all that I can use anyway for that. So without further ado, we'll start jigsawing out. Hopefully I can with this jigsaw. I think it's got a 50mm throat. So I'll just check this. Want to post it on there? Lots of work to go yet. Okay, second one. Now I'll let those dry and then I'll go and cut it out on the bandsaw. I'll leave this section here, that's for clamping, and then I'll start at the biggest point first and start carving it away. water section here, and that's when the fun starts. These are a version of the horses that I think we'll use on the stagecoach. Probably wondering why I'm cutting this hunk of wood in half. Well, firstly what I'm doing is cutting the wood in half, well 25mm, and then re-gluing this back up on different diameter plus adding another 25mm. So it gives it about 62mm, which gives me plenty of fat on the full size of the wood. So when I'm carving, I don't have to worry about any mishaps because there's not enough material. Because the carving on the horse rear end will look silly if it's too narrow. So the wood I got was only 50mm. So if you're going to insert a piece of wood, is try and get the same piece of cherry, and which this is, which is going into the middle, and then I'm adding another piece on the other side, which is from the same piece cherry board, but it's a different area. This is the same as, so we can get some less variation if we do that way. We'll see what happens. And of course my bandsaw, it's only got a 200mm throat, can clear 200mm. This is 250, so hence what I've done is I've cut around the circle, cut around each corner, 60mm deep, the depth of my saw, and then I'm just using the hand saw to cut through the rest of it. It takes about 10 minutes, but that's okay. Then I put it through the thicknesser, as I have already done with this other piece. But when I'm finished, I've already put that through the thicknesser, got it the right thickness. But when I'm finished, I'll come back to you and I'll show you what I'm going to do next. And you will understand. Here we have them, all sandwiched together. I didn't add this piece in here, no need to. I can clamp in that section. This is all dead wood. This is what they call dead wood. That's just for clamping purposes only. So, don't know how long that'll take to dry. Probably 24 hours I would leave it. Just about used all my clamps up. I have got a lot more, but they're smaller. So I'll wait till this dries, probably tomorrow afternoon, and then I'll do the other one, and we'll go from there. I've let the piece of wood dry out, clamped together for over 2 days because I've had other things to do, so it's well and truly set. Now I'm just going to cut this section out here, put the holes in, and I'll cut across here. I'll tell you why I don't cut around here, as I'll show you later. Well, first of all, we'll cut this section here to there, because remember, I'll lift this up. This section here is for clamping, and that supports the legs while I'm carving them. Now that's the outline of the, not actually how it's going to look, just gives you an idea. That's the outline. More detail you can put into these things, the more better off you're going to be. Righto, so we'll get into it. Before I start, you probably can see that I've got a, let's get it closer. A smaller blade in here, in the width here. Gives me the chance to, I turn the wood as I cut around it. You'll see as I go. You don't have a big band saw width. Right, move that back out. just like that, and we'll crank her up and off we'll go. As I've experienced before, in the last one, when using this small blade, it does move a lot when you are removing from the cut. So it's best to stop the machine and pull it off, otherwise the blade will run off the wheels in there. Just a little secret. I've never seen that before talked about, so I thought I'll let you know. So it's best to wriggle your way out of it, okay, before you do your next cut. It's making it hard. Ooh, there's something wrong. Wiggle it out. Okay, there's something I haven't done. You can't see. I don't think you can see through there, but I have not put a hole all the way through. Because when I added this piece of wood, this piece of wood here, I didn't drill through, I've just forgotten that. So I'll be back in about 5 minutes flat. I'll just turn you off. Just have a little rest. Okay. You can see that drill the holes, and you see there's no tear out marks there, because what I do is I come from this side, drill through until I feel the tip of the drill starting to come through on this side. And then I finish drilling that way, and that way you don't get any tear out, which is very important because you never know how much material you have to take off. So the less material that you damage while preparing to make a model, more important it is to have all your material in contact. Right, put you down onto there again. So your support arm, close as, and then crank it. Especially with the slivers like that, then you can take it back out. Lift this up. All basic stuff. Now I can remove my saw, put it there, adjust. Get that chip away. Now I'm going to cut along this section here. I'm not going to do along here. Sorry, I'm not going to cut up this way. This is where I was. I'm not going to cut this section here. There's a reason why I'm going to do it, and I'll show you later. But I'll start here, and I'll take that piece right across, and so forth. Sounds like I've got some dry bearings there, which I have to have a look at. Lift it up, take that piece out, and there you have it. This area for clamping, nice solid clamping. And of course you might remember this. This is where I built or carved my dog. And we're going to use this platform because it's ideal for this type of work. You can move it in any direction. I have got another plate over here. Which I can mount on there, and that gives me a real added advantage that I can do partial circles and all that. I've got all the gear to do a successful carve. So we better get at it. I never throw away jigs. They just accumulate. Ugh, running out of room. Of course, I don't know if you remember this machine. This one here. Oh, sorry, move it down. Okay, this one is turning, fast revving, and the other one is reciprocating, and that's a chisel, used in conjunction with chisels. I will remove all the rough stuff with this machine, but when it comes down to the nitty gritty, I'll do it by hand. Just to save my hands. I've got a little bit of arthritis in my hands, so it does help if you've got something like this to use. Always put something over there so you're not going to dive into that. But I think you know the use of this machine. I can swivel around. I can show you action if I point you down. We'll do some pipe fittings, and that swivels to any position where you want to work, and then we've got a couple of bolts underneath here. Whoop, wrong side, long time since I've used it. And that swivels that way, and I can swing that 360 degrees over to the other side if I want to. So, believe it or not, with those three positions I can go to any position I want to go to. So what we'll do, I think, we will clamp the horse like that to there. If it's secure enough. If it doesn't, I'll just go straight onto the little pad and it'll be nice and secure. Right, the next process of this build, as you can see, I've got a template on the back here. That gives me a basic idea where I can start carving and all that to get the right idea. The shape, that's very important, of the rump of the horse. And of course I've got a duplicate of this one here, which is going to be stuck on there, which sits about there below that, yeah, around about there on the centre line. It's not twisted like that, it's not like that, it's up and down like that, eh? Right, now there's another thing that you can probably notice if I can hold that there. See if you can pick it out. With one horse looking this way towards me, this guy here. Now this horse is looking away from me. You see that? So that way you can quickly scribe over there, roughly where your heads are pointing and all that, so you don't get mixed up. But it is best to build one model at a time. So do one carving complete, then go to the next one. But put your lines on first. So where you're going, like I have already done there, you can see some scribble lines, can you? Scribble lines there. Might be able to, should be able to pick them up. That gives you a basic idea where everything is before you start carving. Now I've only done one carving like this before of animals. I've done it of a jaguar emblem that sits on the front of a jaguar, and I made a copy of that. And actually it was my first build, and I had to use 3 pieces of jarrah that I glued together, and they're coming out so wonderfully well, so I don't think I have too much problem with this. The wood is cherry. Apparently it's a dream to work with. We'll see about that as we progress. I always look for problems, but there's no problems. You might see that hoof's out in the middle of the air there, can you see that? It's not really supported by any wood, but when you get there, that's where his legs are. That's where it is. So I've got hopefully every angle covered, what I want to do. Actually I have another cut that I can do on here, which I didn't realise, but I'll quickly do that. The tail's basically the same, a little bit different shape. I don't want them to be exactly the same, but I can cut this area out here. That gives me access. That gives me access to start carving in between here, because at the moment I'm limited. But if I cut that section out there, it's nice. Anyway, I would say certainly that a stagecoach horse would have had shorter tails and all this. I can't really see what size, what length of tails they had, but I gather they would be pretty short, because you don't want them too long. They'll be getting covered in dust, because you've got to remember these horses only went on, I think they only done 22 miles before they were changed out. So in that 22 miles, that's a lot of rough work for these horses on the tracks in those days. Well, fantastic. I've forgotten the variety. I've checked it out, what variety of they were cross, I think, and they were work horses and they could run very well. And I must say that I'm only carving 2. First up, I have read up on stagecoaches. They used to have stagecoaches used to run around counties or areas in America. In Australia not so much, but in America they did. They would only run with 2 horses, and there only be a light passenger load, only what was inside the stagecoach. I think it was about 5 people, 7 people, 8 people. The horses could pull them quite easily. Only 2. Like a taxi service type of thing. So yes, they were magnificent horses. Not that I really like horses, but I like ride horses or anything like that, because I had a little bit of accident in my younger days with one. So he sort of wove away, but it wasn't the horse's fault. It was something else that caused the problem. As I say, I'll plod along and hopefully don't have too many large problems. Okay, now I'll go ahead and glue this. See ya.